Praise to the Most High, praise to the Most High. Now, in the beginning, God gave you the breath of life, which means it doesn't matter what you think, how you feel, what your soul believes in. God gave you the breath of life. That's why He is able to know everything about you and everybody that comes and passes through this world. But really it's earth, because in the beginning God created the heavens and earth. But by chapter 2 in verse 4, that is the history of what God created. And man chose to do it on their own. They're more than willing to pass away. That's why they tell us to make a will before we what? Pass on. They don't want us to believe there's everlasting life. They're doing everything they can not to make us believe there's everlasting life after here, when they know they done copied the rest of the Bible in order for us to suffer, in order for us to go through chaos and confusion. That's why we look at certain people that make certain commitments as if they're crazy when they're talking to God. They're listening to Him. That's why throughout the whole entire Bible it talks about random people just automatically knowing what God is talking about and doing it right. Even though in the past, what? They were bad. Because who wrote the Bible? Women couldn't. Look how they talk about them in the Bible. But what they can't hide are the names. Those names are important because those names are the ones that listen to God. Everybody else is called man or woman. And the ones that they call out of their name of man and woman, that came from the man that wrote the Bible. Because God said it's written in your heart, mind, and soul. You don't need it to be written down on a piece of paper. That's how they were able to trick the Indians, if that's what you want to call them. They made them write them down on a piece of paper and forced them to believe that it's true. That's why we don't owe them anything. We are children of God, and they know that. They don't want to be, so let them. Because in Revelations it says, if they don't want to believe in God, don't let them. Their spirit won't even let them go in, even if they wanted to. Yeah, you could go ahead and be a preacher and act like you could do this, that, and the third, and then all of a sudden step down. You think God didn't know you were going to do that? You think you can hurry up and repent? Those are going to be the people that go to the lake of fire, that have been tricking y'all from the beginning. I'm 31 years old and I lived that sinful life. Just to realize sin is according to you. My sin was women. My sin was drugs. My sin was sex. My sin was money. There are many things that I chose to love before God. So everything that you choose to love before God is why you're going through the things that you're going through. When you choose to love God before you love anything else in this world, or even like anything else in this world, then God will give you a flashback of why you should have trusted Him in the first place. That's why a lot of people just be giving up. That's what it's really called. They just give up because they don't want to face the fact of all the things they have done wrong. They tried to create a kingdom without God and make us believe in them. That's why we slave every day at these jobs, even though we're already slaves to the flesh. Think about it. The moment you're born into the world, that is the baptism. Then you're cut from your mother, the one that made you with God. Yes, the man partook in it, but it was God and the mother that created you, just like Mary. You are Jesus, but you aren't Jesus. God loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and who shall ever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. God gave us another chance. He made a rainbow in the sky to promise to never flood the world again, but he will send those to the lake of fire that are false prophets, point blank period, and they know who they are. They think they can repent on the last day, but God gave them the breath of life. He knew what they were going to do from the beginning. That's why I didn't just believe in the Bible, because I knew men wrote it, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to live my life so I could learn my own lesson, as I should, because it's the phases in life, so I can have everlasting life. Think about all these artists that all of a sudden change their mind and we want to look at them crazy. No, they don't listen to God now. They've been having people tell them what to do left and right. Now they listening to God. And they're willing to go out with a bang. This is it. Prince made a whole symbol of himself. Biggie, life after death. Tupac, Illuminati. Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. They understand what God was talking about. They listen to him. This is a stage in life, not everlasting life. There is only one day. The sun rises and it sets. That is it. That is all. We are the ones that are supposed to change. Think about that.